Immigration to Norway. This is what I want to cover in this video. 1. Basic conditions to immigration. 2. Get to know the country firsthand. 3. Learning the language ahead. 4. Climates in Norway. 5. Finding a suitable home. 6. Means of transportation. 7. Health insurance. 8. Job possibilities. 9. Salaries and taxes. 10. Leisure time. 11. Making friends and finding love in Norway. And finally, some words of encouragement. You'll find these also as chapters in this video. Immigration to Norway. Here I want to give you some background information on immigrating to Norway out of my own experience as expat. I'm Swiss and have decided to emigrate to Norway about 2017. I had known Norway from my childhood days when my father worked for a Swiss company and the whole family moved to Norway for about 1 year. It was a happy time and I liked it. After some vacations in Norway 2014 and 2015, I bought a house at the shores of Moldefjord, a small fjord at the Norwegian Sea about 200 kilometers north of Bergen. In the first years I was still working in Switzerland as an IT professional and as a lawyer. But I tried to spend as much time in Norway as possible. I lost my job 2018 and I tried to spend as much time as possible in this new beautiful country. I used it to get to know the country, to get to know the language and to get to know my neighbors. When I retired by end of 2020, I moved definitely to Norway. So here is what I can give you on the way if you consider to move to Norway. Immigration from EU countries, Switzerland, UK and countries of the European Economic Zone can immigrate nearly without any problems. If you can find a job, you're entitled to move to Norway. Other citizens need visas and permits to move to Norway. This may be more or less difficult depending on your country of origin and your job offerings. Some professions are very searched for and will grant easier access. As a retired person, you need to prove that you are able to live on your own income without need of Norwegian social assistance. The first and most important advice is get to know your future home by traveling around, by talking to Norwegian people and by doing everyday tasks. Take your time, do not rush. You will perhaps spend the rest of your life in this country. Norway is huge in its south-north dimension. By line of flight it is around 1750 kilometers. Therefore are the regions also very different in climate, people, density of population and last but not least the urban or rural appearance. You need to find a place that suits your desires and your needs. Can you find a job in your trade? Do you require to get out, dance, go to cinema, to opera and theatre, etc.? You are an urban person and need city life. Or do you prefer the quiet life in rural surroundings? Can you cope with a long dark winter in the north? Or do you need more light and warmth? All that and much more you have to find out yourself. Not out of videos or movies. No, by first-hand experience you make. I had started learning Norwegian in 2014, years before it came to my mind to emigrate to Norway. Today I communicate only in this language, also watching Norwegian TV or reading news in private. There are two main Norwegian languages and two more local and indigenous languages spoken. Although most Norwegians speak also English, I urge you to learn Norwegian before you move to this country. To me, this is a matter of respect. If you want to live in the south or east, your language will be bokmål. If you live in the west or north, it will most probably be nynorsk. These two languages are similar but slightly different. Unfortunately, you can usually only buy an online course in bokmål on the internet. Your future neighbors will appreciate that you are willing to go the extra mile to learn Norwegian before you move here. Norway is a northern country. This means it is rather cold in winter time, and the difference in light between summer and winter is very considerable. The warmest part is the southeast and south, around Oslo and Kristiansand, but both can be cold in winter time. In January, the mean temperature in Oslo is between 0 and -5 degrees centigrade. In summer, the temperatures can reach 30 degrees. All year round, you will have about 10 days of precipitation. In Oslo in January, there is daylight from 9:15 in the morning to about 3:30 in the evening. In July, daylight is from 4 in the morning to 20 to 11 at night. In the west, for example in Bergen, it is already colder in summer, but usually slightly over zero in winter time. The Gulf Stream is helping to keep the temperatures higher. But there is a lot of rain in Bergen. Count on 15 to 20 days every month. Winter daylight starts around 9:45 and ends 20 to 4, while summer has a long days between 4:20 in the morning to a bit over 11 in night. Further north in Trondheim, it is just about as cold as in Oslo in winter and just about as cold as in Bergen in summer, but it has only about a third of the rain compared with Bergen. Here you can enjoy winter daylight only from 10 o'clock to 2:45 in the afternoon, but in summer daylight lasts from 3:15 in the morning to 11 at night. Even further north, the temperatures get colder and the difference between winter and summer daylight bigger. Over the northern polar circle, the sun will not rise in winter and not set in summer. If you so far enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel before watching the rest. Have fun! Finding a suitable home. After you have decided what area you want to live in, you have to start looking for a home. If you choose a city like Oslo, Bergen, Kristiansand, Stavanger, Ålesund or Trondheim, you will probably live in an apartment. If you rather live in rural or coastal Norway, you will end up in a small house. Go to finn.no, where you can find a large choice of apartments and houses. A house in rural or west coastal areas will cost you between $200,000 and $400,000 US. An apartment in Oslo can be quite expensive to rent and difficult to find, and you have to calculate a rent of about $2,500 to $3,000 a month. In other cities, they are cheaper and easier to find. Let's look at transportation in Norway. If you live in the city, you will have buses and tramways, and in the southeast also trains. But in all other areas you will need a car and you will use ferries. Cars are very expensive in Norway, and as from 2025 you can only buy electric cars as new. You will find cars also on finn.no, and if you choose an older type, the price might be affordable. Your driving license is usually only valid in Norway for 3 months. Then you need to exchange it to a local license. If you're emigrating from a European country or a list of countries with similar Western laws, this will be rather easy. If you come from a country not on the list, you will have to pass the driving exam just like any other Norwegian freshman. You can find more information on this topic on the internet. Although there are many tourists that use a bicycle in Norway, this is not a really valid option in the coastal areas of the West. The roads are often very narrow and large lorries are a serious danger for cyclists. But within the village or small town, bicycles are very useful. Health insurance. When immigrating, you will have to provide for a health insurance from the country you're coming from. After you have received your official registration and have had your first salary at the job, you will be part of the Norwegian Social Security and you don't need your insurance anymore. Health costs are paid by the state in Norway, and as you are paying your taxes, you pay also your health insurance. By the way, for your car and other goods, you will have to find a Norwegian insurance company, of which many are at choice. Job possibilities. If you have a health-related job like medical doctor or nurse, you will have an easy time to find a job. These people are searched for all over the country. Other jobs rely on the area. Office jobs usually are found in the cities, while good handyman jobs are also found all over. In the West, you can try to hire on a fishing boat or a supply ship. Oil platforms are also interesting jobs. These are physically hard, but reward with good pay and more free time. But apart from office jobs, the Norwegian language is important. That is also a reason why I urge you to start learning as soon as possible when you consider to move. Salaries and taxes. Salaries in Norway are rather good. You might be impressed comparing them to your home country. But do not get too excited. Costs of living is also higher, and you will pay 25 to 30% of your income in taxes that are directly deducted by your employer. Especially if you want to live in a city, costs of housing can eat away a very large part of your income. But you should be doing okay if you watch your money. Leisure time. I don't have to go to details about the possibilities of the city. They offer just about all what other cities around the globe offer too. But if you choose a rural or coastal Norway as your place, then you will usually have a few possibilities for cinema, theater, restaurants, bars, dancing, etc. You will more be an outdoor user. Norwegians love to be outside, to ride, to walk, to ski, to boat or to fish. Find out what you like most. This will help you to find the right place to live in. Making friends and finding love. Finding close friends in Norway is difficult. Yes, Norwegians are friendly and helpful. They are easy when it comes to talk with you about whatever you want to. But finding real close friends can be very difficult. This will need time and patience. So rely on yourself and, if you have it, on your partner. Finding a loving partner can also be a challenge, but you might find that easier than finding other close friends. There are many lonely people that wish to find a loving person to bond to. So going out to some local dance events or sports organization might help. Then grab your opportunities. Some final words of encouragement. In this video I could only talk about a small part of the thoughts and considerations that you need to make when you think about immigrating to Norway. I myself did never regret to have decided to leave Switzerland and move to the west coast of Norway, to a small town at a small fjord, right at the border of the Norwegian Sea. Who knows, perhaps you also find a nice place where you can have enlightenment. But first, do your homework to make sure that you can start as good as possible. I wish you the necessary patience, diligence and joy to dive into this adventure. And please do not forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Then you can see new videos of Norway. Thank you.